Hi, welcome back to another video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. So I just remembered this. Okay, last night they were sending me this again to Silent Sound that they were going to try something different. Okay, and they were going to try to create certain situation in which the kids were involved, right? So, for example, today they took my son' phone in school. They never returned it to him, even though it is they know that they have to return the kid's phone if they take it from them during the day, right? So, and again, the kids know where to go to get their phone. So obviously, when my son went to get his phone, whoever took his phone didn't bring his phone to the office so that he can retrieve his phone. Then so my son went to pick up his sister from Boys and Girls. My daughter started acting up again, like I said, right? So the lady from the Boys and Girls called me. She was like, "Can I come and meet the kids?" Because my daughter was acting up. I said to her, I said, "Well, I can't come and meet them right now, you know." So then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "You know what?" She stopped acting up and she's going home with her brother now, right? So again, talk about the use of this technology. Also today, I was watching a video of a young woman, who, young police officer, black young black woman, who was killed by these four young teens. Now, in Chicago, they have all these technology, right? So they have the device that can what's it called, the gunshot locator. So if you're somebody's, if there's any shooting outside, it automatically activates and the police respond immediately. But yet it took the police half an hour. Okay, then on top of that, let's think about this for a minute. Let's think about this logically. So there were four young people, okay, who went on this so-called crime spree on that particular night. Yet the police was tracking the vehicle, but never intervened. They never intervened. So instead of intervening, they let these young people went on this so-called, that's what they call a crime spree now. This is what they said. They never intervene. It just so happened that these four young people all of a sudden find themselves in a neighborhood with this young female off-duty police officer who was about to graduate out of college, right, with her master's degree. Okay, they just so happens to find themselves in that neighborhood. Those four people, those four young people who were on this crime spree, just so happened that this young 24-year-old off-duty police officer just so happened to be outside. Okay, just so happened that as these four young people were driving by, they shot at her. Right, she fires back, and they continue to shot at her until they killed her. Again, does that sound right to you? Does that sound right to you? And then one of the young people, right, when they saw, they was telling another person that who was talking about the young female officer, off-duty officer being killed, said to that individual, "Oh, that's mine. I did that." That doesn't sound strange to you guys? Now I posted this on Facebook, but I also posted and I said, let me tell you guys exactly what I post. Okay, I can't remember it verbatim, but I will uh, pull up the post and I will post it. So this is my post along with the link to the video. Okay, it says, I said, please understand that what we are seeing, what is being orchestrated, is what is called a sacrificial murder in the case in order to set an agenda. Why did the police not respond to the gunshot fire from the gunshot warning system? Think about it. All that technology. They are not trying to prevent crime. They are letting crimes take place, waiting for more crime to happen. This is so orchestrated, but many cannot see what and why these things are happening. Also, The police were tracking. They've been tracking the suspects, right? Why did they? Why were they waiting? And how is it that this young black police officer just so happened to be outside? See, because of the decades of my targeting, the decades of experience, of what I've experienced, the research that I've done, how, and particularly trying to explain how this technology works, silent sound, right? And I want to read this. This is from Controlling the Human Mind: Technologies for Political Control. This is by Dr. Nick Begich, who, by the way, um, they have conditioned him now into talking about aliens and all this stuff, because it takes decades for them to change your mindset. So even when you are aware of the technology, right, you don't have, there is no way to, there is no defense mechanism against it. So if you know about it, particularly if you know that you're being targeted and you're aware of the technology, you can try to, again, analyze what you are going through, what your mind is saying, it's telling you, the reaction, the actions of people around you, your own action, and try to separate, right, what it is that they put into your mind, or they continue to put into your mind, from your own conscious mind, right? Because these technologies will co-opt your consciousness, and there are times when they do to me. With it, then there's times, like I said, when I walk to my bedroom and all of a sudden I'm fixated on certain things, like I'm literally coming in and I'm staring, you know, on certain things, and then I have to wake myself up and understand. And then on top of that, I'll immediately hear police sirens in the background. So, for example, if I walk into my bedroom, I'm fixated, I'm staring at my blanket, which is green. You know, they usually have green. Usually whenever I'm looking at a color green, they will use the police sirens. Okay, so let me read this. All right, it says other auto material. Sorry, any other audio material were developed by Monroe. Based on these observations and the use of the technology with tens of thousands of people over the years have proven its effectiveness. Some of these materials include not just sound signals, but voice as well. And this is silent sound, right? Silent sound is you are hearing your own inner voice, but it is instructions or information conditioning of your psychological mind, of your psyche, your subconscious and your conscious mind. You're being programmed by these technologies, right? So as well, these are used to anchor ideas related to behavioral modification that may be desired, right? Now again, Dr. Nick Begich spent decades researching these technologies. One of the few. Then there's also Dr. Colin Ross. He's more of the brainwashing aspect of the CIA programs in the past and present, right? And then we have Dr. Robert Duncan, who used to work on some of these technologies for the CIA, right? And what do we see within those individuals? We see, and I shouldn't say those individuals, but Dr. Nick Begich and Dr. Robert Duncan, is that they themselves have become targeted by these technologies, right? By those that control these technologies and are using these technologies. So again, when I speak about these things, people, they're like, "Oh, you're crazy, this and that," and that's fine. Like I said, I don't really give a damn about whatever label they want to put on me, take off me, what have you, such and such. This is why I document this, right? In order to uh, show the few people who actually trying to understand what's going on, and to get an understanding, so that if it happens to their loved ones or anybody else, that they know that they can intervene and say, "Hey, this is what's happening to you." Okay, instead of just saying, "Well, go see a psychiatrist," have you say you are being targeted by the government, those within the government with the dark triad personality traits, because they are setting an agenda. And I already said, early on in my targeting, they were talking about putting black people back into slavery. Every time I read an article about Dr. King, I look at the picture of Dr. King, police sirens. Malcolm X, the same thing. Louis Farrakhan, the same thing. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, the same thing. Police sirens. The Black Panther, police sirens. Whenever I read articles or listening to videos, watching videos, listening to videos, they were always using the police sirens, right? And this is again when I really dig deep into researching the COINTELPRO program against, particularly against the Black Panther Party and black leaders within the black community. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Peter Bergen, whose video they took it off of YouTube called "In the Minds of Men." Now they replaced this. The title is still the same, but it's a different video. But if there's another website, an archive website that archive everything on the internet, I forgot the name of it, but you can find that video where he talks about how they were kidnapping black leaders from the black community, right? These neuroscientists, in order to, they were basically burning holes in their brains, lobotomizing them, removing certain parts of the brain that's responsible for our emotions and stuff like that, right? And so, again, we don't, particularly we, and I say we, not just we as TIs, but me as being a black person and black people in America, we're so superstitious. We're so, the language that they use, how they program us, right? So we don't look at technology as having been developed and created to do these things, but we associate. You hear black people say, "Well, I spoke to God, and God spoke to me." God don't speak to you. Your very own Bible tell you this, right? So, and again, God only spoke to the prophets, right? God never spoke to every single person. Every single black person who's religious. I understand that they don't know what the hell it is that they're saying and who they're talking to, right? So there's three minds that they've created within us as a people. I used to say two, but now I recognize it's three. We, as black people, we have a natural mind, right? Then we have an indoctrinated mind, and then we have a psychology created by us being programmed by these technologies. Okay, so that being said, before I go, I just want to say this. So, the purpose of me doing this video was to again expose what they are doing today. Trying to use a different method, right, to silence me, and using my kids and putting my kids in a certain situation to see if they can trigger me. Again, they're always trying to put you through these tests. It's always about doing a test, testing this. Let's test his memory. Let's test his, if he, or what have you. All right. Anyway, talk to you guys in the next video.